Hey guys, HM Racing here, back today with another Assetto Corsa video. Now, the other day I was scrolling YouTube and I came across a video that sort of pleased me a little bit. And it was, well, it's basically this. It was Can-Am cars at Goodwood. Now, for those of you who have never seen any videos from Goodwood Members Meeting, perhaps the Revival, go check them out straight away. Full grids of 30 odd drivers around the circuit that basically found the 70s in stock is just a sight to behold of these £1 million cars just being driven on the absolute limit and no quarter taken at all. And it got me thinking about whether there would be sort of something available for Assetto Corsa to race, to try out. So I went hunting and I found this. This is a mod pack. Well, it's a collection of mods. I'll put the link in the description below to the video that helped me put all this together. Go check it out. It's a really cool video. And it's basically just a collection of a full 1966 grid of Can-Am cars, and included in the description for that mod video is a full season of tracks for the 1966 season. Including classic versions of Laguna Seca and a couple of other places that they went to that season. But I thought I'd hop on and do a quick 7 or 8 lap race here at Goodwood just to demonstrate the ferocity of these cars. So without further ado, we'll head out to the track and I'll see you there. Right, so here we are on the grid. 7 lap race here at Goodwood. And it's lights down, away we go, and the AI kind of forget what the concept of a flying standing start is. Pick our way through the stranded AI. Bless them, they try their hardest. They really don't like cars that slide around. Luckily, I do. The Porsche understeers, we understeer. Another Lola in front, sorry, a McLaren I should say. We all understeer off of turn 1. These cold 60s tyres really don't provide that much grip. To right out to the red line. Oh, we force him off onto the grass. Still doesn't want to yield the position. 4th gear for just a second. We somehow get the car slowed down. Into the back sector of the track. Pretty slow, pretty technical. We give it a boot full of throttle on exit. There's a bump there that really can catch you out. Just peel off the brakes into the braking zone. I love the sound of this car off the throttle. Whining. I'm assuming from the gearbox. And then we get the best exit possible, gradually on throttle, and then there we go. Now we're going to sit in the slipstream. Can we maybe think about a move around the outside, on the braking? Oh, we have to tab the brakes early. The car's moving around all over the place as we hit the brakes. Missed the first apex, aim for the second apex. Actually hit it pretty well. Now to the chicane. Any AI going to crash off this time round? A little tap of the barriers on exit. The yellow car in the barriers there as well. And there's the first lap completed. The speed just carries on climbing. These cars will be good for easily 200 miles an hour. Rather you than me, thank you very much. We're going to try and catch up to the pack ahead. So, for those unfamiliar with what Can-Am was in the 60s, America needed a new racing category. Something to compete with around all their circuits they have built. Oh, lots of AI happening. Big accident up ahead. I'll continue my story time in 1 second when you make it through. Oh. Think about sneaking one up the inside here. Just a little tap. Just a little bit of a wheel-to-wheel contact there. So in 1966, the first season of Can-Am was born. This mod pack based off the 66 season, in fact. Now, John Surtees won the championship in this Lola we're driving, in fact, actually. With the Lola cars taking 5 out of the 6 wins that season. The only win taken away from them was Phil Hill at Laguna Seca, when in the Chaparral, the one that's just sort of off onto the barriers there. Oh, he's hit the chicane hard. Now, for the first season, only McLaren, Chaparral and Lola took part, but later on, companies such as BRM, Shadow and Porsche came along. Early on it was the Lolas that dominated before Porsche took their hand to it, and like Porsche do, they absolutely dominated first off with the 917 and then with the 917-30, which eventually, with the use of a big old turbocharger, produced reportedly over 1,500 horsepower in qualifying trim. Now, for those who have Assetto Corsa, it's part of the Porsche pack, so you can drive it as part of the base game, no mods needed. And it was nicknamed the Turbo Panzer. It was an absolute monster. Try and get a good exit here. Or just the understeer, just wait for the front to grip up, and then when it does, you unleash all hell. Now these cars from the 66 season, about 500 brake horsepower, weighing under 800 kilos, so pretty rapid in the straight line. Fortunately, 60s brakes, which means the car doesn't really stop. We're going to lose a position here, which we do to, I believe, the McLaren. He's going to hit the barrier. Oh, we hit him too. I think, yeah, I don't really understand the concept of going through the chicane there, more into the chicane. And of course, at the time, these Can-Am cars were cutting-edge technology, making use of aerodynamics for the first time in race cars, making use of functional turbochargers. Obviously, I just described the Porsche there, but other companies did have their hand at turbocharging their cars as well, to great effect. To take away the massive turbo lag they had just insane amounts of power and were absolute monsters to drive. Also, materials such as titanium were being used, which had only previously been used in space industries. In fact, at some points, Can-Am cars were quicker around certain circuits in America than Formula 1 cars were at the time. Unfortunately, the thing that made the series just so special, the sheer engineering feats that these cars were, was the thing that eventually drove the series to its downfall, which was just the cost involved with creating cars made of titanium, which would have cost an absolute arm and a leg at the time. But it did make for some pretty exciting racing. See if the Chaparral can make it through the chicane. Just about. Crashes into the exit, finds his friend there. And we're already on to lap 6, only 2 laps to go. Of course, these Can-Am cars never really raced at Goodwood at the time, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But they did test them, unfortunately, in 1970. The great Bruce McLaren, creator of McLaren cars, was actually killed while testing the 1970 McLaren competitor for the Can-Am season. Unfortunately, his legacy lived on. The McLaren went to dominate in other motorsport categories. They couldn't quite cut it in Can-Am, however. But to this day, well, apart from last year, obviously, Can-Am cars still race at Goodwood in the members' meetings, in the revival as well, and they properly go at it. They do not hold back when driving these absolute monsters around. They're wheel-to-wheel battling, sometimes hitting almost 200 miles an hour coming into this braking zone towards the end of the circuit. We're only hitting about 270 k's. I'm not stopping, I'm not stopping, I'm not stopping. Whoa, we somehow managed to get stopped. As we're just slowly gaining positions from cars going off the chicane there. Sort of found ourselves in a little bubble right now. And here is white flag, 1 more lap to go. Oh no, sorry, 2 more laps to go. Oh, we're locked up. No. Oh, can we keep out of barriers? We can. We can rejoin the track. Is there anyone coming? Nope, there's no one in the mirrors. I think the AI are really struggling around here at Goodwood. They really don't like that final chicane, but it gives us a chance to stretch this Lola's legs. And as part of the mods, this mod is amazing. This is a really nice feeling mod. You get such a great sensation of driving one of these Can-Am cars, and the engine sound is just amazing. I'm going to shut up while we go down the back straight. Turn your volume up and just listen to this car. Woohoo! This thing sounds amazing. Powered by that Lola V8. Not really sure what company produced the engine. There is a Ford variant in the grid. I'm not in that one. Can't remember. I believe it might be a Chevrolet V8. But it sounds ridiculously good. And that off-roll sound with whine, gearbox. Oh, this thing is just amazing. And of course, only weighing 750 odd kilograms, same weight as Formula 1 cars almost at the time. Formula 1 cars being a bit lighter, if you get a big old kick of oversteer there, you're constantly fighting this car. But it just goes to show, hats off, mad respect to the drivers who drove these cars on the absolute limit in the 60s and 70s. And these aren't even the wildest Can-Am cars. They will yet to come, with obviously the Turbo Panzer and ridiculous cars in the mid-70s with the humongous turbos that they bolted onto the V8s. Around the final corner. Oh, he's going to lose position here. Is that, what's that? Is that a chaparral? He does, he sends out the inside, that big wing really helping him, and he crashes into the chicane on the final lap. As we nearly spin it, trying to get on the throttle out of the corner. And across the line, we get the place back. Session over third place, in fact, there. Really replicating the Lola's performances this season. Wow, those cars are good. Those cars are amazing to drive. Or what I would give for VR around in these cars. So there we are, guys. 7-lap race done at Goodwood, and this mod pack is ridiculously good. I'm going to be driving some more of this. Might even do a full season using the 6 tracks that I also were in the pack. Obviously the pack is in the description below, go check it out. These cars are a blast to drive, and if you're into big old turbocharged Can-Am cars, check out Porsche. It's part of the game. It comes free with the, well, I say free, I believe it's one of the DLC cars in the Porsche pack. But nonetheless, it is quite an experience to drive one of these. Obviously, if you have enjoyed any fun through this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're interested as well. Check out my Twitch in the description below. We recently hit affiliate, working towards 100 followers on there and 100 subscribers as well on here. Really looking forward to getting some more content out soon. All left for me to say is have a really awesome rest of your day. Don't get too excited when you drive these Can-Am cars, and yeah. See you all next time. See you later.